it's about the maturity, it's about the understanding, and it's about the communication of your ideas in the best way possible to all the people who are surrounded by you. It's not only to your superiors, it's not only to your mates, it's not only to your inferiors, but it is to the whole surroundings, the whole system. So then, probably the knowledge whatever you have gained, it will have some, some practical application of exploration of the new possibilities with others. Only when if you can produce ideas, only when if they are communicated with others, then only a possible interface can happen between these two boundaries, and this synergetic effect can produce a better output as expected by the industrial people. I think most of you from mathematics background as well. I'll ask you one more simple question. You try to answer this. For example, a small question which talks about how many times you can deduct 1 from 100. For example, a small question to start with. How many times you can deduct 1 from 100? తెలుగులో చెప్పాలంటే ఒకటిని 100 నుండి ఎన్ని సార్లు తీసేయచ్చు? Yes, my dear? 100 times. Okay. ఇంకా చెప్పండి పర్లేదు. 1 time. Okay. 2 answers. How many times you can deduct 1 from 100? Very simple question. But once again, see, the companies will not give too much importance to the answers which will be given by the students community, but they would like to look at the ideas generation behind every solution. So in other words, they don't want to listen to the blind solutions, but instead they would like to test your logical skills to know about the ideas generation behind every solution. Even this question is very simple. There may be many answers as it was generated by the students, but still, a mind which puts a logical thought, a scientific approach on this problem can only understand this question a better way and can come out with a better solution than this. For example, 1 time is going to be the best solution for this question, but how? It is a question to be answered. For example, if the question is asked like how many times you can deduct 1 from 100, normally you write 100 on the board and you write 1 at the extreme right side, then you draw one line, right? You get the imagination. So you write the output. How much is output? 99. So 1 time reduction is over. Fine, now we are going for second time reduction. Once again, we are going to write 1 at the extreme right of 99. You put one line across, then you write the output as 98. Second time reduction is over. Now when you go for third time reduction, once again writing 1 at the end of 90, it goes on and on until you reach 0. If this is the case, there's no doubt how many times you can deduct 1 from 100? 100 times. But here the logic is, here the idea is, here the point is. For example, when you are deducting 1 for the first time from 100, first time in the operations, please watch that the 1 is being deducted from the number 100. But the second time onwards, please get the imagination on the board, like as if you are writing on the board. From second time onwards, when you are deducting 1, please observe that it has been deducted from a number which is other than 100. Which is other than 100. That means 99, 98, 97 and so on like this. But come back to the original question actually. What is the question which was initially asked? How many times you can deduct? 1 from 100 only, but not from 99 and 98 and so on like this. So if this is the case, naturally the best answer is going to be 1 time, but based on this logic. But some of the students would have told the answer like 1 time, but by logically deducting 1 which was kept at the extreme side of this 100, and by keeping those 2 zeros, they can just say that it's going to be the direction of 1. Mathematically speaking, it is not so. Mathematically speaking, it is not so. I think at least this example should definitely reveal what type of matters that the MNCs are actually going to be interested in. So they want persons who can think about a common problem, but in an uncommon way. But most of the students did not come out with a possible solution for this question just because of 2 or 3 reasons. But the main reason is going to be you did not understand the question very properly. You did not understand the question properly. So please understand, it's going to be a message to all of you. Whenever you want to solve any problem in the life, in the professional life or even in the personal life, the basic step which is required to solve is to understand it properly. Without understanding it, never jump into the problem or never jump to the solution as well. It's going to be highly suicidal. Unless you understand, unless you analyze, unless you explore the possibilities of the problem, never jump into the solution part, because that's going to be the last step which must be taken into consideration. But because of our education system tuned all our mindsets to think always mathematically or analytically always in nature, so that our mindsets were once again tuned towards the end solution very immediately, so that we forget the basic first or 2 or 3 steps, like understanding the problem, analyzing the problem, exploring the possibilities around the problem. All these 3 steps will be overlooked very clearly by all the students, and they are only interested in the end solution. Please understand, my dear friends, companies, They require solutions, no doubt, but they require more number of ideas than these solutions. But there is no doubt our education system has taught us one single point which was given by Balaji after this, that if there is a question, there is only one solution. But which is not true in practical application, especially in industry settings, it is not so. But once again, our education system had taught this point very prominently at every stage of our education life. For example, even if you take the questions which were asked at the end examination, there may be one unique answer for any question. You don't find a second answer for that. Even in multiple choice questions, A, B, C or D, any one out of those four is going to be correct, but not both. Then fill up the blanks. You are forced to choose one word to fill up that blank. Even true or false, you are demanded to put either false or true. So that means the education system has given this strong message to all the students that if there is a problem, there must be only one solution. But in industry settings, it is not so. The case is not so. In fact, industry problems will have most of the times more than one solution, and in some cases more than two solutions. In some other occasions, more number of solutions. Even in some rare cases, infinite number of solutions, infinite number. But the idea is to search for them, look for them, and get them, and then to look for the practicality. How best these solutions can be playing an important role in solving the problems which are available on the shop floor. I am just slightly going towards the industry expectations because communication is the basis activity. Over and above, you have to actually develop your career development. It's going to be the basis to explore your possibilities, explore your ideas, and to communicate very effectively to others that what the point you are thinking is going to be right. Once we got that terrible, characteristic of that convincing others, I am sure they are going to be established as a wonderful leader in the given sample. And most of your desires are to become either a manager or as a leader for a group of persons. No doubt, you will have to really work hard at the beginning of this student age to develop those attributes which are actually important from those expectations point of view. Otherwise, you will have no place. I am telling you, my dear friends, the competition at outside is going to highly intensify. In the earlier days, the people who are scoring 100 by 100, you can count on by fingers. But now, you can find 100 members who can score 100 by 100. So the marks are not actually indication of a student's talent. So something else is required. So that's what MNCs, when they come and visit the campuses, they are not testing your knowledge mostly on your subject areas because they understood that you got. It was assured that you reached some reasonable levels. But over and above, they would like to look at your communication skills, leadership qualities, management abilities, creativity, memory, and so on like this. If I want to count like this, there will be 100 plus characteristics of talents which will be definitely demanded by the MNCs all over the globe. Now, as a student, you are not supposed to waste your time because this subject's clearance is going to be a part of everything. It's going to be a part of your education. But the rest of the things, you must have to take an active part in developing those things because they got some desires, even if your parents have got some desires. So, you imagine where do you want to lead, where do you want to be led, where do you want to reach, where do you want to go, where do you want to land now. Then you just identify that point. Now you identify what is your present status. Once these 2 points are clear, then you go for gap analysis. We call it as gap analysis. Where do you want to be and where you are at the moment. That gap is going to be very clear. Now you try to insert certain things which can fulfill and to minimize that gap. So dreaming about a dreaming portion is not a crime. I appreciate it. In fact, I encourage this. But where it should not be overlooked when you are dreaming about the requirements of the dreaming position. Do you understand what I said, right? అంటే ఒక మంచి పొజిషన్ గురించి కలగనడం అనేది తప్పేం కాదు మా అందరూ కలగనాలి. ఈవెన్ మన ఎక్స్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా వాజ్ ఆల్సో టెలింగ్ అబౌట్ ద సేమ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్. కలలు కనండి అని. బట్ కలలు కనడంతోనే చాలా మంది వాళ్ళ ఎఫర్ట్స్ స్టాప్ చేస్తుంటారు ఇన్ ఇండియా ఎస్పెషల్లీ. బట్ దే నెవర్ మేక్ అన్ అటెంప్ట్ టు మేక్ దోస్ డ్రీమ్స్ కమ్ ట్రూ. Because the competition is highly intensified, you must have to really work hard. I'll tell my practical experience, my own experience. Right from my childhood, I was very popular as a very good student in academics and especially in mathematics. Whether you believe it or not, when I was doing my plus 1 plus 2 education, my fastest score was about 287 problems in 1 hour. I could solve 287 problems in 1 hour, out of which 261 were correct. The next exercise in the class was just 121. So in 60 minutes, 287 problems, out of which 261 were correct. And whether you believe it or not, on those days, for some problems, the moment I look at them, I just keep on writing the solutions. And the plus one intermediate textbook takes about 2 hours for me to complete the whole textbook, and second year intermediate textbook took almost about 3 hours to complete all the solutions. That took the proficiency I gained on those days when I was a student of plus 1 and plus 2. So I had an opinion, I had an assumption. Like whenever there is a problem to be solved, I generally not go by 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, but instead I go to the first step, then the fourth step, 8th, 12th, and like this. I jump almost 3 or 4 steps at once. So that was a talent I gained. So all these things have put me under a lot of, to feel a lot of proud about my efficiency. But I did not notice where exactly I was staying actually in the given competition. Because, for example, when I joined my MTech program at IIT Madras for doing my post-graduation, I had some students who are my classmates, who are the best sample in the country also, because they are the top rank holders in GATE examination all over India. For example, one of my classmates was the 12th rank holder for all over India. And another classmate who was Mr. Prakash was second rank holder for all over India. Now you can really imagine the classroom interaction and the way how they communicate, how they talk about the subjects. Definitely it puts a lot of pressure. So I believed on those days that I can go to 4th, 8th and 12 steps like this.